The inspiration comes from everyday life, go around traveling, see museums, see people, even go to a cafe, you see a certain kind of character, and then maybe it kind of push me to do a sculpt or sketch, a quick sketch. The sculpture in the animation business is pretty important. Is one of the first steps of the animation process between the character designer and the director, the interaction between the drawing and the three-dimensional object. And I started to work at Dreamers in '97, and for the first 3 years I discovered that there was a need for a three-dimensional sculpture. So I was able to show a different part of material, like maquettes, to art director, to the directors, to designer, and thanks to that portfolio that I built up, I had the opportunity to work directly one of the first project the Dream was doing, Simba, and thanks to this project I was able to approach the sculpt in a different way. But I started as a traditional artist, so I study art in Milan at the Academy of Art. I study stage design, and thanks to the stage design I was able to get into the animation world. And this was basically one of the main things that kind of allowed me to enter in this beauty of animation that I still love to do this work. And thanks to the studio that I did in Italy, I was able to bring my approach to animation, to bring my experience to in the United States with the sculpture. The first experience in the United States was with Dreamers, but before I worked with the Warner Brothers in London. And so basically from studio to studio I was able to improve my skills, be able to work with different designers, different artists, and get more knowledge on things that later I will start to bring in my own sculpture and sculpture related to movies. But I think it was important, as I grew up in Italy, grew up in this beautiful country, so I have all this influence between artists like Michelangelo, like Bernini, like Robescoy, like all these kind of influence, Bugatti. It was kind of forced me to push the boundary, to try to push what I was feeling inside, my personal emotion, and try to push it in a direction that I really like to do, that is the sculpt, and try to achieve something that was unique. And especially when I was in Dreamers, one of the main character designers, Carlos Grangel and Nicolas Marlet, they were the two first person that I really realized that I could bring something on the table, especially during the production of a movie like Spirit, Simba, Shark Tale. And then later I worked with more people that were kind of always pushing the boundary, try to help me to discover more path in my career, like Peter Dessert, Carter Goodrich. I was lucky to have different people that were really helped me in my career, in my path. The dream came true when I was able to go to Los Angeles. Los Angeles was one of my first goals, to work on a bigger production. At the beginning it was like Disney, but then it became Dreamers, and obviously the talent in the studio was incredible, and I was feeling so lucky to be there, and then I still feel lucky to still be able to do what I love to do and try to make a living. But obviously, I still dream. I still consider myself like a little kid. I think it's a pretty important thing to keep going, to find the energy, to resolve the problem, to find your expression, to find your way how to say I'm here in this world. And so the dream is one day will be to tell a story about my country. And I have a story that I'm working on. I have a short that is based in Venice in the 1700s. So, and the dream is to be able to do stop motion, so I can see my sculpture taking a life and movement, and that's one of my bigger dream right now. So I hope maybe one day I will find it. I still have the energy to keep doing it. That is one of my main dream now. The experience to come over here, obviously I was traveling a lot in the last 3 weeks, and I was kind of, I felt a little bit of pressure because it was the first, obviously workshop in Italy. I didn't know the people, I didn't know the students, so I was hoping to bring them, to give them something as an experience in 4 days. It's not really easy to achieve. I think the results are pretty good. The people, they were super welcoming, and I really love the energy that he created in this special place, this museum, and just the idea to be here in this kind of building from the 1300, as the energy from the wall. So I try to bring some energy from outside and try to keep it in and make sure that we were able to achieve something unique. And I think we did it. I think we had a good good run. For 4 days was a blast. I hope to do again, and to have maybe different students, so I can teach them my way how to see things, my way how to feel it, and I can learn from them. So that is my next goal, let's say. And it was the experience to meet people. That is the main thing. It's not the project that you work on. It's more the connection, the learning of different culture from different country, different cities, different area of your country, different area of Italy. I never thought I would come over here to Mondovì. So this is an experience. Maybe I will bring you something with me.